Hello, I'm Elizabeth Dole. As Secretary of Transportation, I am committed to ensuring that all Americans enjoy the safest possible roadway environment. This includes our professional truck drivers, long considered the nation's safe driving experts. Toward this end, the Department of Transportation has issued a regulation requiring trucks and truck tractors manufactured after July 24, 1980, to have brakes operating on all wheels. In order for the new regulation on front-wheel brakes to work effectively, the safety benefits of front-wheel brakes must be understood and supported by the entire truck driving community. As part of the Department of Transportation's information effort, you are about to see the results of our most recent test, which should help dispel some of the myths that have surrounded front-wheel brakes. Remember, the key to your entire braking system is proper maintenance and adjustment. Keep your brakes properly adjusted, and they will be there when you need them, including the front-wheel brakes.
Well, I started in the trucking business when I was a kid, 15 years old, driving my dad's truck.
I've been born and raised in a trucking family. Of course, I worked 11 years as a truck and trailer mechanic before I started driving. I've been on the road 19 years for Duff Truck Line.
24 years ago, I started with Helms Express. A guy by the name of Pappy Miller taught me how to drive. He was the first PUCO number in Ohio.
Came into the driving business naturally. My dad always had trucks. I grew up on a farm, and just it was a natural progression.
In September of 1986, the United States Department of Transportation conducted a demonstration at the Transportation Research Center in East Liberty, Ohio. The purpose of the demonstration was to prove that trucks with properly maintained front-wheel brakes stop in a shorter distance and maintain control. The demonstration proved a great success.
Front-wheel brakes had a real bad reputation from years back. They didn't have the technology that you have today. I think the brake shoes and the drums were larger. They over-braked you, and you went into sledding effects.
It was a rainy day, but spirits were high. 12 professional drivers, 6 owner-operators, and 6 members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters were selected to drive 5 trucks donated by the industry. There were 2 bobtails, 1 fully loaded and 2 empty tractor trailers. Each vehicle had the capability of having its front wheel brakes turned on, turned off, or just having its right front wheel brake on. The vehicles were tested on an asphalt test surface coated with a driveway seal. Between each run, the pavement was sprayed with water. This type of surface condition is equivalent to a poor secondary road when it is wet and slippery. The trucks were tested in 3 maneuvers: braking in a curve, braking in a lane change, and straight lane stops. The results of these demonstrations were positive. With full front brakes, all 12 drivers in all situations were able to stop in shorter distances while maintaining control of their vehicles.
I'm totally impressed with the shorter stopping distances, the maneuverability, the stability of vehicles, all different types of vehicles equipped with front-wheel brakes. There's no question in my mind they're safer.
This first demonstration shows braking in a curve. In the first run, the fully loaded tractor trailer has its front brakes connected. The same tractor trailer with its front brakes disconnected has a much longer stopping distance, and the driver has to struggle to maintain control. This bobtail has its front brakes operational. It is going through a lane change maneuver. This same bobtail has its front brakes disconnected. It should be noted that bobtails have more difficulty stopping than empty or fully loaded tractor trailers. In both tests, The bobtail was traveling at approximately 30 miles an hour.
During these tests here, they've proven to me that full front brakes versus no front brakes, there's no comparison. Full front brakes, I made it stop 400 and some odd feet, 300 some odd feet, but anyway, what I'm trying to say, with full front brakes, I stopped 116 feet quicker than with no front brakes.
That's great.
And it was easier. I felt I had more control of the unit.
Here is a tractor trailer with front wheel brakes traveling at 40 miles per hour, demonstrating a straight lane stop. It stopped approximately 140 feet shorter than this same tractor trailer, which has its front brakes disconnected.
This test, I think, is a giant leap forward in safety for trucks. Up until these tests were conducted, I was never a believer in front-wheel brakes, but these tests are changing my mind, and the facts prove it. You can't argue with the facts.
I come in here very negative of front brakes, and I'm going to leave here very positive thinking of them, because the tote board speaks for itself. All I got to do is look at the numbers up there, the conditions we're stopping in, and the way the vehicles are, I think they're a must. I believe they should be properly maintained and be properly used all the time.
The law requires the use of fully operational front-wheel brakes. A one-day demonstration convinced even the most skeptical drivers of the need for front brakes. 3-axle tractors and trucks with front brakes stop shorter on wet pavement and stop shorter on dry pavement. Remember, maintenance is a must for your safety. Keep the brakes adjusted, and you will be able to stop when you need to stop, before stopping dead.
That's what it feels like.
control steering equipment mounted on the last trailer. Traditional and electroluminescent lights mounted on the outer edges of a snowplow blade should provide the operator a better sense of the plow's edges and increase a motorist's awareness of the plow blade. Diverging lights of increasing size mounted on the rear of a slow-moving maintenance vehicle will create an interesting and safety-related optical illusion. Drivers would feel they are approaching the maintenance vehicle at a faster rate than they actually are. As a result, they would slow sooner and avoid rear-end collisions. As you can see, by finding ways to use new technology to address pavement maintenance, snow and ice control, and safety, Sharp is grabbing hold of the future now.
And I happened to be on a radio program in St. Louis, I guess it was Tuesday, at your service. What would you think they said is, okay, what is it your highway department ought to be doing better at? And what's really bugging you? And they said, in our opinion, we just don't have a good feel that you're keeping up with the state of the art. Our interstates and a lot of our roadways that we built back in the 50s and 60s. That's when we were running and gunning and we had more fuel taxes, and that's when we built a lot of the system that we have. Since that time, and that's been a number of years ago, now these pavements are getting old, the traffic has done some things we didn't expect. The traffic growth is tremendous. The thing that is very scary to us is simply safety. We've had right at 99 people killed in our department. That's our own people. That didn't count contractors, didn't count the drivers, the motorists, counts us. Several years ago, and is into the current federal program, they said, hey, we've got to do something different. So they said, let's allocate part of the monies, and all states sharing in this, is let's take a hard look at are there better ways, are there technology and those things out there that we can do things that are going to be a lot safer for us, last a lot longer, and provide a lot better product to the motorist. So they came up with, in the last federal act, something called SHARP, S-H-R-P. Now that stands for Strategic Highway Research Program. It's a 5-year program. It's $30 million a year, and this is no small program. A lot going into it, and looking at some very basic things. What are those things that we can do in maintenance that are more effective, that get the job done, do more with less, and it stays there and it works? Also, another big operation, particularly for us, is what? It's snow and ice operation, snow and ice control. So the thought is very strongly that if through research we can have a lot better understanding, stay right at the state of the art, through research we can come up with some innovative ideas, we ought to try them.
By looking objectively at new methods and materials today, we can grab hold of the future.